on. By this point, hopefully you already understood that you could be using original sort of raw versions of the AI apps, chatbots, or you could be using external apps, similar to how we discussed using WriteSonic or using Copy AI for generating different types of copy, right? But I guess in this lecture, I want to talk about the different sort of original chatbots, the AI apps that actually exist out there, and the differences between them. And we won't go into the, the very, very details of everything, but I still think it will be very useful for you to really understand, the differences, the sort of the high level differences, and just understand the overall reasons why you would want to prefer, one AI app over another one. So let's dive into this. Of course, the most, I guess, famous, the most popular one to this date, ChatGPT. As you can see here, it's a simple chat interface. You type in the message, and that's pretty much it. But, comparing it to, we're going to talk about three models. We're going to talk about ChatGPT. We're going to talk about Google Bard that you can see here. And we're also going to talk about Claude. Claude is not as so famous, I would say, but it's from a company called Anthropic, and they are actually competitors to ChatGPT. And actually, the funny thing, two of the co-founders of Claude were actually employees previously at ChatGPT. So now I would say so far, I mean, of course, there's so many AI chatbots out there, AI models, but still, for me, I would highlight these three. So yeah, starting from ChatGPT, let's start discussing all of them. So two models that are available here, ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT 3.5. And I would say the main difference, once again, because we're trying to keep this video pretty simple, so at least you could remember the main things, is I would say the main advantage of GPT-4 is that it has this plugin store. Similar to, how you have Apple Store on your iPhone or Google Store, the Play Market on Android, right? You can download all of different sort of apps. Very similar with ChatGPT. They're developing actively this plugins store. So let me just open it. And as you can see on my screen now, there's already so many of them, meaning that, whether it's content creation, like let me just type in content. As you can see, many potentially useful plugins here, or, let's go SEO, for example. Yep. So pretty much any topic, I've tested so many plugins, and you can even now through plugins, you can even buy like airline tickets. That's pretty cool. Book hotels. So the point is, it seems like with this plugin store, ChatGPT is really great at giving you so many different sort of, I guess, options and functions. Yeah, that's, I would say, the main thing. The only disadvantage here is if you go into the paid version, you'll see that, yep, the paid version, ChatGPT Plus, is currently $20 per month, because compared to, for example, the other two AI apps that we're going to discuss, Bard, Google Bard and Claude, you can actually use them for free. And this is the main thing. Once again, depends on the problems you're trying to solve and the things you're trying to do. But okay, let's go into Google Bard. As you can see, a pretty similar interface here. Yeah, pretty similar. The only difference is you can upload a file here. And yep, you can upload like an image, a web file, or anything else, so that then it takes that into account. But other than that, the main thing that I've found really different throughout really testing is it sounds like Google's Bard has like more like human-like responses. In all other areas, I would say ChatGPT is actually better, especially when it comes to quantitative sort of analysis, calculating things and stuff like that. ChatGPT is definitely better. The thing with Bard that I definitely like is when it definitely comes to some kind of like creative copy, I feel Google Bard is creating sometimes way higher quality and just being more creative overall. But once again, it really depends. I would love to give you like a very, very clear answer. And I've also went through so many reports, and there's no clear answer. It really depends on the initial prompt that you're entering, on initial sort of description, of your task. And depending on that, you will get the result. But let's now go to Claude to discuss some of the, the main things here. The main difference with Claude, I would say, so far they're also behind, ChatGPT and behind Bard, but they're really relying on, if you remember the video previously, on larger context memory windows, meaning, if GPT-4 model can currently remember, as I said earlier, 50 pages of a PDF page, something like Claude, they're making the bet that, their AI model would remember 300, 400, 500 pages. And this is where potentially they will be winning because, if you're trying to sort of store, analyze, work with large data sets and just, many files, potentially Claude, has an advantage here. Once again, but at the end of the day, it's all about testing. The good thing about Claude is for free, for now at least. And as you can see here, you can upload a PDF and, for example, then say, hey, summarize this PDF document. So that's pretty much, the free, main AI apps models that you would be using on a daily basis. The only last thing I forgot to mention, which is really, really important, is, for example, something like Google Bard. It actually has access to recent information. So it's actually looking for information in real time compared to, let's say, ChatGPT, their database, sort of their information on which, GPT 3.5 or GPT 4 is trained on ends on, I think it's November, 2021, meaning that if something happened after November 2021, GPT 4 simply won't know that. But, the solution for that potentially is they actually have a browsing mode, which paradoxically is not active anymore at the moment. I think they're trying to fix it. But anyway, in the paid plan, they have the browsing mode. So it can search in real time if you specifically enable that browsing mode. But once again, going back to Bard, it automatically, enables that sort of browsing in real time mode. So that's the things, you really want to consider. And, it's really all about experimenting, with different, all of these AI apps and then seeing the results you're getting, trying to play around, by refining. And as an example, here, you see, like, let's do this as a final thing, I guess, for this video. I'm giving this task to Bard, write some lyrics for a heartbreak anthem titled, Lovesick. Let's do the same thing with ChatGPT, GPT-4. Let's do the same thing with Claude. Let's see the results we get. As you can see here, even visually, Bard is giving us verses, chorus, bridge, outro, keeping it kind of like nice and simple. Same here with Claude AI. I guess it's generating a lengthier anthem. With GPT-4, same thing. But once again, you see, like, it's very hard to judge, the quality objectively, because at the end of the day, it's all about, what creativity is for you and, how do you assess, is this creative or not? So this is why, fortunately or unfortunately, I really don't want you, to have a definite answer, what's better, whether it's Claude, whether it's Google Bard or GPT-4, until you actually test it all out yourself. So I guess to wrap this all up, explore mainly these three options, experiment, and then decide for yourself what's the, the best AI app that you prefer. Is it Bard or GPT-4 or Claude? So enjoy exploring the space. Good luck, and I hope you found this all very, very useful, and I'll see you in the next video.